Welcome. I am Advocate Bhagyashree Bhosle. In today's lecture, we shall discuss about the winding up of the company. Winding up of the company is the process whereby the company's life comes to an end and its assets are administered for the benefit of its creditor and members. An administrator called the liquidator is appointed and he takes the control of the company's assets, pays, pays the debts and finally distribute any surplus among the member in accordance with their respective rights. Winding up order may be given by the court with or without the cost. Thus, it a mechanism whereby the assets of the company are utilized for the advantages of the shareholders and creditor. The person who manage the entire assets of the company when it is in a winding up position is called as a liquidator. Winding up by the National Company Law Tribunal. Winding up by the tribunal may be conducted if any of the circumstances mentioned in a section 271 are fulfilled. The tribunal can order for winding up of the company on an application by any of the person who are authorized under section 272 of the Companies Act. A company can be wound up by the order of the tribunal in the following circumstances. If the company by a special resolution has resolved that the company should be owned up by the tribunal. The second circumstances is that if the company has acted against the interest of the sovereignty and integrity of India, the security of India and friendly relation with the foreign state, public order and decency or morality. Third circumstances when the tribunal can order for the winding up of the company is if an application is made by the registrar or any other person who authorized by the central government and the tribunal is of opinion that the affairs of the company have been conducted in a fraudulent manner or if the company was designed for a fraudulent and unlawful purpose or if the person in the management of its affair of the company are guilty of a fraud, misfeasance or a misconduct and in the interest of a justice it should be wound up. The company has made a default in a filing with the registrar its financial statements or the annual returns for the immediately preceding the 5 consecutive financial year. At that time also tribunal can order for the winding up of the company. The company would be owned up if the tribunal is of opinion that it is a just and equitable, that it should be no longer remain in a function. With the passing of insolvency and bankruptcy code, grounds of inability to pay the debt and winding up under have been deleted. Winding up by the special resolution. As per section 271 of the Companies Act, there is a provision regarding the winding up of the company by the special resolution. The company by special resolution can decide that it would be wound up by the tribunal. The resolution can be passed for any reason. However, tribunal must see that the winding up is not opposed to the public interest or in the interest of the company as a whole. The tribunal is also to take into account the possibility of the company to have a financial revival when the company is incurring loss that lead the company to pass a special resolution for the winding up. This clause is based on the premise that the shareholders being corporate entities have the requisite skill to judge and decide as to whether or not the company should go out of the existence. It is the shareholders who had formed themselves into the company and therefore it is for them to dissolve the company. The directors are not entitled to file a winding up petition without the authority of the general meeting. The directors may file this application subject to the rectification of the proposal. The company has to call a general body meeting and pass a special resolution including therein specifically their resolve for the winding up by the tribunal and setting out the ground in the explanatory statement attached thereon explaining why the winding up of the company is a needed. It may be noted that the court has the discretion and is not under any obligation to order winding up of the company. Company acting against the interest and sovereignty and integrity of India or the security of India or a security of any state or even of the friendly relation with the foreign state. At that time also, if tribunal deems fit or thinks so, the tribunal can order for owned up of the company. The grounds like the acting against the interest of the sovereignty, integrity of India, or the security of the state, or even of the friendly relation with the foreign state are due to the geopolitical science, and it constitute the remaining ground of a public order, decency, morality do not appear to belong to the same strain. The other ground remain a point to contention as the corporation is engaged in a public indecency. There are regulatory agencies which should be governing them. Then one of the important ground when when the tribunal can order for the wound up of the company is the if the company's affair conducted in a fraudulent and unlawful manner. Any person authorized by the central government or the registrar can apply to the tribunal for winding up proceeding. The tribunal may order winding up on the grounds such as the affairs and management of the company is being conducted in a fraudulent manner. The company was formed for the unlawful or a fraudulent purpose. The persons concerned in the formation of the company or a management of its affair have been guilty of a fraud, misfeasance or a misconduct in connection therewith. Company has made a default in filing with the registrar its financial statement. As per the section 271D provides a ground for winding up of the company in case where it defaults in a filing of the annual financial statement or annual return. It is an indispensable attribute to ensure that non-accountability and indiscipline in running the management of the company is not rewarded, and the government companies are no exception in that case. If default is made in respect of a 5 consecutive financial year, the clause of a winding up can be invoked. There can be default in either financial statement or a annual return. Thus, if the annual return has been filed for the 5 consecutive financial year but the financial statement are not filed regularly, there is a if the financial return has been filed for a 5 consecutive financial year but the financial statement not filed regularly, this is applicable. The converse is also applicable. The crux and the primal test is that there should have been a default in either of two cases for consecutive 5 financial year. Further, the emphasis has to be on immediately preceding 5 consecutive year. Then another important ground for order of a wound up of the company by tribunal is a just and equitable reason. The tribunal may also order for the winding up of the company if it is of the view that company should be owned up for the justice and equity. There is a completely separate and independent ground for the winding up order. For this is too applicable, it is not pertinent that the circumstances should be corresponding to those which justify an order on one of the 6 grounds. In exercising its power on this ground, the tribunal shall give the weightage to the interest of the company, its employees, creditors, shareholder, and interest of the general public. The relief is also like a last resort when the other remedies are not efficacious enough to protect the general interest of the company. Then loss of the substrum. When the company has neglected to emerge the main objective of the company, the imperative outline there is the instance of a German dead coffee company, where a company was formed to manufacture coffee from the dates under a patent which was to be allowed to the government of the Germany and allow the different license. The German patent was not allowed and the company set different and distinct license. In any case, on the appeal to the investor, it was held that the substrum of the company has fizzled and it was difficult to complete the articles for which it was a form, and thus it was just and equitable that the company to be wound up. Loss, if the losses occurs when a company cannot convey forward its business with the exception of a bearing the weight of a misfortunes, at that point it is just and equitable for the company to be twisted up. The Bombay High Court saw in the instance of a Shah Steamship Navigation Company that the court won't be justified in making the winding up arrange just on a ground that the company has made misfortunes and is likely to make assist the misfortunes. Then operation of the minority is also important ground for the winding up of the company. It is just and equitable to wind up a company where the principal shareholder have received a forceful or a sever or a squeezing strategy toward the minority. Then another important ground for a wound up of the company is a fraudulent purpose. If the company has been imagined and brought forward in misrepresentation or for the unlawful purpose, at that time it is just and equitable to wound up the company. One interest is likewise another vital ground based on which the court can arrange the winding up of the company. Then we shall see the who are a petitioner or who can file a petition for the winding up of the company. According to section 272 by the Companies Act 2013, the following individuals have the authority to file for the compulsory winding up procedure under the Companies Act. First of all, company as a petitioner. The company may present a petition for the compulsory winding up if the special resolution has been passed to that effect. Then the contributory or a contributories at a petitioner. A contributory shall be entitled to present the petition only if the shares were originally allotted to him or he has held his share for at least 6 months during the 18 months immediately preceding the commencement of the winding up, or the shares have been devolved on him by the reason of a death of the member. A contributory shall be entitled to present a petition for the winding up of the company, notwithstanding that he may be the holder of a fully paid up share, or the company may have no asset at all, or the company may have no surplus asset left for the distribution among the shareholders after the payment of the its liability. Then registrar also can file a petition for the winding up of the company to the tribunal. The registrar is allowed to present a petition for winding up only on the following grounds. First important ground is a company acting against the security of the country. Then second important ground, where the affairs of the company have been conducted fraudulently. Third one, non-filing of the financial statement or annual return by the company. The registrar shall obtain the previous approval of the central government before making a petition for the winding up. Further, the central government shall not grant the approval to the registrar unless the company has been given a reasonable opportunity of making a representation. Then the central government or a state government may also file a petition for the winding up of the company. Any person authorized by the central government, or if the petition is made on the ground that the company has acted against the interest of the interest of the country or interest of the sovereignty and integrity of India, or the security of the state, or a friendly relation with the foreign state, or a public order or decency or a morality. At that time also the central government may file petition for the winding up of the company. Then we shall see the procedure for winding up of the company, or a procedure for filing a petition for winding up under the Article 272 of the Companies Act. The tribunal may pass any of the following order, namely dismiss it with or without cost, make any interim order, appoint a provisional liquidator of the company during the pendency of the winding up petition, make an order for the winding up of the company with or without cost, or any other order as it thinks fit. Since the power of the tribunal are discretionary, If it is satisfied that a prima facie case exists for the winding up, the tribunal may direct the company which is bound to be wound up to file its objections along with the statement of affair within a 30 days of the order under the section 274 of the Act. The tribunal shall also appoint a provisional liquidator or a company liquidator at the time of a passing an order for the winding up of the company. Such a liquidator on appointment under section 275 of the Companies Act, such shall file a declaration within 7 days from the date of appointment if he has any conflicting interest in respect of his appointment. Once the tribunal appoint a provisional liquidator or passes an order for winding up, the tribunal within 7 days from the date of passing such order shall intimate the same to the liquidator and the registrar also. The registrar has a duty to endorse and notify about the order in the official gazette. If the company is a listed company, then the registrar has to notify it in the stock exchange where the securities of the company are listed. The liquidator has to submit a report to the tribunal within 60 days of a passing of the order of the winding up. The report must consist of the particulars such as the nature and details of the assets of the company, valuation of the assets, amount of a capital issues, etc. The liquidator may also have to make a report on a feasibility of the commercial aspect of the company and make any further report as it deems fit. Then within 3 weeks of such order of the winding up, the liquidator shall also make an application to the tribunal to constitute a winding up committee to assist and monitor the process of a liquidation. The liquidator shall also the conveyor. He has the duty to place monthly report before the tribunal and prepare a draft final report for the approval of the committee. The final report will be submitted by the company liquidator to the tribunal to pass the dissolution order of the company. The tribunal, after the careful scrutiny of the report of the company liquidator, shall fix a time within which the entire proceeding shall be completed and company is dissolved. It may also order the sale of the company. If the sale has to be affected, a sale committee can be appointed to assist the company's liquidator. The company's liquidator, on the order of a winding up of the company, shall take into his custody and control all the property, actionable claims to which the company is entitled. The property of the company shall be deemed to be in a custody of a tribunal for the date of the passing of the from the date of the passing of the winding up order. Along with this, he has to submit a periodic report to the tribunal to up to date and keeping the tribunal in a loop of the progress. The liquidator is mandated by law under section 294 to present the tribunal with account of a receipt and payment of the company. There will be go through the audit and one copy of the audit has to be given to the tribunal and to the registrar by the company liquidator. The summary of the audit shall be given to every creditor and every contributory through the post. The next stage, called as a set-off, is conducted whereby the contributories are called upon to pay the debt. The tribunal order the contributory to pay the extent of their liabilities. Further, it may even issue the summons to the person who are suspected of having the company's property and examine such a person summon and reduce his answer to the writing and require him to sign them. Apart from this, if any other person has some property of the company, a report of the same has to be filed by the liquidator to the tribunal. Within 60 days of his appointment, the official liquidator shall dispose all the assets of the company. He shall serve a notice to the debitor to submit any outstanding amount. The amount that he receives has to be deposited in RBI, Reserve Bank of India, and the company account money in no circumstances be deposited in its own private account. He shall also call the creditor to prove their claims within 30 days of his appointment. Upon the claims, he shall prepare a list and each creditor shall be communicated as to whether their claims have been accepted or rejected. If any creditor is aggrieved, he can appeal the central government. The official liquidator shall pay to those creditors whose claims have been enlisted and accepted. After all these formalities, once the affairs of the company have been completely wound up, the company's liquidator shall will submit a report to the central government and tribunal and make an application to the tribunal for a dissolution of such a company. The tribunal shall make an order that the company be dissolved from the date of the order, and the company shall be dissolved accordingly. The registrar will strike off the company from the register of the company and publish a notification that the same has been removed. A copy of the order will be sent to the registrar by the company's liquidator within 30 days, and it is recorded in a register. In the conclusion, we can say that the process of a winding up of the company is not very simple. It includes within it many complexities and technicalities. Earlier, there was just the Companies Act 2013 which was govern this area. However, with the enactment of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, it has become more difficult to apply these provisions simultaneously and to decide the precedence. However, this this process of a compulsory winding up under the Companies Act 2013 a favorable framework for the companies for the winding up. In this way, there are a procedure for the winding up of the company. Thank you very much.